Like this video and then click the link at the top of the video description to enter our Xbox One and or PS4 plus $500 Amazon gift card giveaway. Subscribe, turn on those notifications, and enjoy the video. God damn, a year ago this list would have been so much easier. Goldberg, Jim Cornette, among many others, could have easily taken their place on this list, but well, fuck me. Vince McMahon runs the WWE, and Vince McMahon has a large ego, and that large ego has gotten in the way of a few business relationships. I'm D-Wicket, and these are the 10 wrestlers who hate the WWE. Number 10, Paul London. Paul London was once eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and it was probably the greatest flip I've ever seen in my life. Good on you, Paul. That being said, Paul London is not a fan of Triple H, and that's unfortunate considering Triple H kind of runs the show around Connecticut, and as time goes on, his power will only increase until death, obviously. When asked about his longtime friend Kevin Steen finally winning a world title in WWE, London said that he was very happy for Owens, the one downside being that, quote, phony fat smile being draped all over Kevin Steen. Ouch. Number 9, Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas is an ECW guy, and that should just about explain his hatred of WWE. Surprisingly though, his hatred doesn't really stem from the differences between WWE and the Land of Extreme, more so the differences between him and both Vince McMahon and the Clique. Douglas was infamously handed the Intercontinental Championship by Shawn Michaels when he had to forfeit it, and for some reason, everyone, including Vince, saw that as a good thing. Shane disagreed and eventually would leave the company and never go back. Number 8, Josh Matthews. Josh Matthews is a shit commentator, right? He's bad. He thinks he's great, but he's bad, just like me. He was at the bottom of WWE's list once budget cuts came around to strike the personnel, and so he was released in 2014, and he hasn't exactly been happy with the company since. To be fair, he does have a lot to be upset about, besides I'm pretty sure he's the one who had to deal with a suicidal referee, Tim White.
However, Tim's depression is so severe that every week he attempts to end it all. Testing rat poison, drinking deadly diseases. This is mad cow disease. Just last week, Tim attempted to poison himself with the use of carbon monoxide.
As well as The Undertaker taking complete control of him.
Enjoying the ride, Randy? Well, the highway to hell doesn't stop until you come to a dead end. Hell in a cell.
Both of those things actually happened. And you know what? Fitting for one of the worst WWE commentators of all time. Amazingly, I cannot even call him the worst. Fucking David Otunga. Number 7, Raven. A few things led to Raven's departure with WWE, and they're all a bit weird. Mainly, he was upset over WWE's policy against wrestlers sleeping around with the office staff. That is classy. Also, Raven drew heat from Vince McMahon for partying too much with Shane McMahon. That is weird. Also, let's just throw the word ECW out there a few times as a little insurance policy. Raven admittedly hasn't shown real genuine hatred for the company, but I wouldn't be surprised considering the company's clear hatred for him. Number 6, Gail Kim. WWE completely misused Gail Kim, and TNA for a long time genuinely treated women in the company a hell of a lot better than Vince did. Not much else to say here. Gail Kim was just completely used the wrong way and deserved better, which she found elsewhere. Fuck WWE, I guess. Number 5, Jeff Jarrett. Oh boy, Vince McMahon and Jeff Jarrett are not friends. Infamously at No Mercy 1999, Jeff Jarrett dropped the Intercontinental belt to China, but only doing so as long as Vince wrote him a nice little $300,000 check. Goodness God, that's a lot of money. This obviously sparked some issues as Jarrett left for WCW, and eventually to help form TNA, him and Mr. McMahon haven't exactly seen eye to eye ever since. Number 4, Scott Steiner. While being interviewed once, Scott Steiner was randomly asked a question about NXT, and as soon as he heard the name WWE, he interrupted immediately with "fuck the WWE" to put his hatred into perspective. Aside from his awful booking during his tenure, his hatred stems from who he considers to be the two biggest douchebags in that whole company, H and Steph McMahon Helmsley, running the show. I guess you can't really blame them because, well, go back and watch their match at the 2003 Royal Rumble. Jesus Christ. Number 3, Batista. Batista does not like small people. Little guys, you can fuck off. Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, Rey Mysterio can come back, but AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Vanilla Midgets, all alike. You can get the hell out of here. WWE is for the real men. What happened to the real men in this company is basically what Batista said during his time back in 2014, and well, it was entirely based on reality. Number 2, Alberto Del Rio. Oh, talk about someone who really hates the WWE. If you've ever seen the guy wrestle anywhere outside of the WWE, you know he fires the fuck up and is alive as hell in the ring, but when it comes to Vince's bin of lunacies, he looks dull and boring and dull and fucking boring. After leaving WWE again, weird things have happened. Twitter has been a mess of him lambasting the company every chance he can, and then he went on and married Paige and basically turned Paige against the WWE despite there still being a WWE contract with Paige, and well, it's really weird. Honorable mention of the day goes out to Jim Cornette because despite what I said at the beginning, he probably still hates this place. And number 1, who else, right? CM Punk. Who else could it be? Especially for a list made by D Wicked. CM Punk's my guy, my favorite wrestler of all time, my straight edge savior, and you'd be damned if you think he doesn't have a bone to pick with Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Feeling he deserved the world and being relegated to the undercard for a good portion of his career, CM Punk struck gold with his pipe bomb in the subsequent 5-star match that would ensue at the Money in the Bank 2011 pay-per-view, and despite his stupidly long and amazing WWE Championship reign, in my opinion, he was still hardly the focus of the show. Not even hardly the focus of the show. There wasn't a day that went by in 2012 where CM Punk wasn't the king of McMahon land. Yet out of the 12 pay-per-views that took place that year, John Cena main evented 9 of them. CM Punk only main evented 3 of them. 2 of those main events were against John Cena. CM Punk lost his big WrestleMania main event match to John Cena versus The Rock twice. And once all of this got to him and he stopped being used even somewhat correctly, he left, and then he got fired on his wedding day. Seriously, WWE, fuck you. How dare you ruin the day of my best friend.
And Hunter was in the room and he goes, "Oh, I'll leave." And I went, "No, you know what? You can stay. I don't care. You need to hear this too." And I just looked Vince in the eye and I said, "I do not love this anymore. I'm fucking sick. I'm fucking hurt. I'm fucking confused. I don't know as a business what we're doing anymore. Every day you tell me this is a team effort, but every day it's a fucking individual effort by me to find what's necessary to even fucking come here." I said, "It's not fun. I have zero fucking passion for this. I'm fucking concussed. I'm fucking hurt. And all you care about is what segment I am and how soon I can fucking get my gear on and when I can pee in this fucking cup. And I don't want to do it anymore." I thought when I re-signed 3 years ago, Vince, I told you if I couldn't be all that I could be, that you should fucking fire me. That if I was a fraud and I was anything less and fell short of the fucking mark, I sold more shirts than John Cena until I turned fucking heel for you. You said you owed me one. I worked guys that were fucking dangerous and you said you owed me one. I did all these fucking things and all I wanted was the main event of WrestleMania. And it's fine if you don't think that is me and that I'm that caliber of a fucking superstar, but then you need to fucking fire me. You have creatively stifled me. You have made this a very toxic environment. I no longer want to be here.
And those were the 10 wrestlers who seriously hate the WWE. Do you hate the WWE? Do you watch WWE? If you answered yes to either of those questions, click all the fancy looking buttons below, and be sure to subscribe to my channel DWicket and go follow me on Twitter at DWicketYT for more hatred-fueled watch WWE and watch content. And don't forget, I hate you.